Today's video is brought to you by Beautiful Halo. Thank you so much for sponsoring me, first of all. And if you guys would like some good quality anime merch, you can go to Beautiful Halo, link in the description below. And on your next $49 plus order, you can get 5% off with the code MEME. And if it's $99 plus, you can get 10% off with the same code MEME, M-I-M-E. Let's get right into the video. Welcome back, guys. This is the King of Weeps here. Man's gassed in that. Man's trying to buy a bike in that. See, Token EK, my G, donated a few bike funds. Oh, $2, but I mean, it's better than nothing. I had zero. But anywho, yeah, it's not. I'm not doing this way for a bike. But anywho, I'm here to actually announce something. First of all, I want to announce the return of my gaming channel soon. And I want to shout out Kazama one last time before, he fully, gets out of his, YouTube. And yes, Kazama has quit. It's very unfortunate, but he has realized that at his age, I mean, games don't have any age, but his belief is that at his age he shouldn't be, playing Dragon Ball Legends and these kind of things. He should be spending, his time with, his friends, family and everything, and I respect his decision. I mean, I respect it all the way. And he's selling his Dragon Ball Legends account, and I'm buying it. Unfortunately, if any of you wanted to buy it, unfortunately I'm buying it because you see, I'm going to begin my new gaming career. Well, not gaming career, but still, I'm trying to get monetized on the gaming channel too, because I actually want to use that to improve gaming setups. And plus, I want to actually on that channel I will be doing the most giveaways that I've ever done. Pretty much I've only given away 10 quid, but still I want to give away a lot more to the community. And if you guys would like to help me out on this journey, you can subscribe to my gaming channel, The King of Noobs. I will be leaving the link down below. And also, thank you so much, Kazama. Welcome back, guys. This is the King of freaking Weebs here, yeah, you heard me right, the King of Weebs. Yeah, not the King of Noobs right now. Man's in his wife making form. And also, this is what if Naruto was raised by Minato spirit. If you have been in my stream today, you may know that I'm starting this new what if, only because most of my subscribers, some people in the stream actually found this idea really interesting, and so I'm going to do it for them. And anywho, let's get right into it. This what if will not have any new characters. A lot of people have been waiting for this, and yes, it will be a Hinata ship. I know I said it's plain and everything, but I believe you guys deserve it. All the Hinata fans out there, all the Hinata fans in my channel, you're getting what you wanted. Yes, you goddamn monsters. You took away my only thrill of making new characters. Anywho, it is what it is. Anywho, now Naruto, of course, being Naruto, was born as usual, and knowing his luck, of course, he loses his two parents. Here, Minato, who of course sealed away the Nantos inside Naruto, accidentally. Well, of course, he didn't. How there is a lot of mystery behind the Reaper death seal. Minato, once he actually sealed a bit of his chakra away, he actually sealed his own spirit in there. Of course, Kushina's spirit was there too, but of course, I'm saying that Naruto will be raised by Minato because Minato is the one that is going to be teaching Naruto mostly. But anywho, of course, now Naruto, went through the same exact pains and suffering as per normal. But the difference here is that both his parents watched all the pain that have gone through, that he has gone through. And yes, Naruto was saddened. But of course, one night he actually still came across this girl. He helped her find her way home, and then another time during winter when they were full, Naruto stopped the bullies from attacking, the Hyuga girl and save her. Anywho, of course, Hinata was always crushing on Naruto ever since. But anywho, now Naruto is actually uh 8 years old, and here is when Naruto actually decides to take his ninja life seriously, and so he begins training his body. Yes, Naruto began his training his body, and yeah, of course, Naruto began with push-ups, then sit-ups, then curl-ups, then runs, and everything. And each day he's just training his body, harder and harder until one day he trained it so hard. Remember, Naruto's an 8-year-old. He kept doing push-ups and sit-ups, curl-ups, something that I can't do because I'm fat. But of course, I'm trying to use that weight and that. You see, man's going to become that six-pack beast and that. Let's not talk about my IRL life. But anywho, fuck you, Ratreet. I know you're gonna make fun of me after this. But anywho, now, of course, what the hell? But anywho, now, Naruto, one day, he trained so hard that, he fainted on the floor. Of course, Naruto, not being conscious, was just looking around his mindscape. Yes, Naruto appeared at his mindscape. But here, his mindscape was a bit warmer than, the cold sewers that, they truly were in the original series. But of course, they are still sewers, but it was a lot warmer than, just cold sewers. Anywho, of course, that is because of the warmth and love of his parents. And yeah, of course, Minato and Kushina actually appeared in front of Naruto. Naruto was startled by this and asked who they were. And Minato and Kushina actually just smiled and shed a few tears, hugging Naruto. And Naruto's like, "Get off me! I don't know who you are. You guys might be strangers. The Hokage said not to interact with people I don't know. Get away." And basically, as he says that, then Minato and Kushina say, "Naruto, you've grown to be a strong boy, haven't you?" And basically Naruto asks how do they know his name. And basically, Minato and Kushina just look at Naruto, and he actually recognizes the fourth Hokage, and he asks, "Wait, you're the fourth Hokage, but you didn't you died. You died protecting the village, I'm pretty sure." But of course, then Minato says that he died protecting the village and Naruto. And of course, Naruto was like, "Wait, what?" And Minato's spirit might be in Naruto, but he's still dead as in the original. Of course, he can still get reanimated, but the spirit of Minato will always remain in Naruto, especially because of the Reaper Death Seals and the Reaper Death Seal. But anywho, there is a lot of mystery regarding the Reaper Death Seal, and that is why Minato was confused on how this happened. And basically, then Naruto asked who they were again, and basically then Minato introduced himself as Minato Namikaze, the fourth Hokage, and then Kushina Uzumaki. And Naruto said, "Wait, Uzumaki?" And basically, Naruto actually said, "Wait, if you're on Uzumaki, are you related to me?" And then, Kushina starts laughing at Naruto and says that, "Don't you see the resemblance between your father and yourself?" And basically, Naruto's like, "Wait, father? What? I don't know who you are, lady. Please, what are you trying to say?" And basically, Naruto actually then sees the resemblance between him and Minato, and actually can see that he actually saw how similar him and Minato looked. And then Minato says, "Let's just explain it to him, Kushina." Anywho, now of course Naruto actually then Kushina and Naruto explain, well, Kushina and Minato told Naruto that they are his true parents. And Naruto's like, "Wait, you're who?" And basically, then they explain everything that happened in the not on the night, but they explained that they died on the Ninetales attack, on the day of the Ninetales attack. And they tried to protect him and the village, and in the end they got killed. but they didn't say by who, because they don't want Naruto to hate the Nantos. The Nantos was only doing what, the Nantos thought it was right for him, and especially because Minato told Kushina not to say that the Nantos did this, because the Nantos was under Genji to even Minato noticed. But anywho, now of course Naruto uh started crying and actually hugged the two spirits, and basically Minato and Kushina then hugged Naruto back, saying that of course now Naruto, asked what are they going to do since the spirits now, and Naruto, they can't really come in the real world, and basically then Minato says that he's actually going to train Naruto himself. Even though he's not going to be there, he can show Naruto, well, not show Naruto, but you know give Naruto an idea of what he's going to be learning and everything. And then Naruto actually understands, and so he, actually just says okay. And yeah, anywho, now of course Naruto, who actually woke up and realized that he can actually hear his parents' voices through his mind. He actually asks them if the training he's doing right now is good enough, and basically then they just say that, well, it's kind of brutal, but we can see that your bodies are adapting, and it's actually going to get much easier once you do it more, and you have to increase the difficulty every day, because each day your body gets used to it, and if your body is fully used to the workout you're doing, it's just going to have no effect, because you're just used to it and you can do it easily. So you should just keep trying to increase the amount of strain you put in it, and the more hard work you put in. Anywho, now of course Naruto understood, and so Naruto after this actually started training even harder every day. And someone who's noticed this was Hinata actually got a sense of motivation to become stronger. So after seeing Naruto train so hard day and night, Naruto coming in late, getting shouted at for coming so late at school, but Naruto didn't care, because he's training to become the strongest shinobi that ever lived in this planet. And anywho, now of course, one day Naruto actually, bumped into, this kid called Sasuke Uchiha, and Sasuke just called him a loser and told him to, get lost. And basically Naruto just says, oh, okay, oh, oh, someone's in a bad mood. And basically, after this, Naruto just leaves and goes off on his own training. Of course, Sasuke is training on his own, and he was actually going to the convenience store just to get a bottle of water, since he actually run out. He actually lost his, not run out. But anyway, after this, Naruto was seen by Sasuke training, and Naruto sees Sasuke too, and so he just says, oh, hello there. And basically Sasuke then says, what are you doing? And basically Naruto's like, what do you think I'm doing? Training. What else? And basically Naruto then just asks Sasuke where did he get all those scratches from, and basically he's like, oh, I've been training too. And Naruto's like, oh, is it? Alright then, bye. And as he says, then Naruto keeps going on his run, and after this a few years pass, 2 years in fact, and Naruto has been training with Minato in his mind, and of course he's actually Naruto doesn't know about the Nantos yet, and yeah. Anyway, Naruto, of course, after training for so long, he's actually mastered the Shadow Clone Jutsu. Also, he's actually got an idea of the Rasengan. He hasn't mastered it yet, and also he has an idea of the Flying Raijin, but he has mastered the Body Flicker, and he has quite good control over it. But anywho, now Naruto, after this, he actually went off on his own, and in the woods to actually train. And just saying by the woods, I mean the Forest of Death. One day Naruto actually decided that he should increase the difficulty of his training to the max, and so he's actually going to go in the Forest of Death, something that he's been forbidden to do, and so he's going to train in there. Anywho, after this, Naruto actually went off on his own, and actually trained. Well, he was actually killing beasts, and after a while Naruto got tired of it, because they were way too easy for him, until a massive snake came to actually eat him alive. Of course Naruto uh, was actually eaten alive, but Naruto was inside the snake, and it's like finally a challenge. Well, I guess. And as he says that, then actually just cuts through the snake and just gets out of it and says, "Well, that was easier than I thought." It is what it is. Anywho, let's continue. And of course, Naruto now has more motivation to keep training, and he realizes that this training is actually much better than actually training on his own. Of course, he still did, his push-ups, sit-ups, and his run, and now he's just sparring against these creatures. And of course, he created a commotion until Anko, who actually was asking what's happening, and and she asked, "What the hell was it, all this noise? What's going on here?" And she sees all the, dead carcasses of all the beasts. She realizes that someone must be attacking the beasts or something, but in reality, the beasts are attacking Naruto. And so Naruto, after destroying pretty much every single beast that came across him, then seized Anko, and Anko seized a bloodied, boy who has a little sword. Well, not a little sword. He has a katana. Yes, Naruto knows how to use a katana, something that he actually wanted to learn on his own, and so he did. And he is his own teacher, and basically, even Minato didn't know how to use a fucking katana. But anyway, of course, now Kushina, who was actually with Minato, well, watching over Naruto, actually asked Minato who this is, and basically Minato says that this is Anko, one of Orochimaru's disciples, and basically then Kushina says, well, that means she must be dangerous. And basically then not Minato says that no, after Orochimaru left, she actually became pretty good, and basically after that Naruto and Naruto actually asked Anko what she was doing in the woods, and basically Naruto just says, oh, I mean Anko then replies by saying, I was going to ask you that, kiddo. You're only 10, why are you here? I know who you are, Naruto Uzumaki, the problem child, aren't you? And basically Naruto's like, yes, you could say a problem child, but I'm only here to train, so leave me alone. And Anko saw something in Naruto. She saw that Naruto was kind of a psycho, and that kind of interested her in Naruto. And so she asks Naruto if he likes killing, and basically Naruto's like, well, I wouldn't say I like killing, but these creatures, they're the only good thing that comes out of this forest. The closest thing to a sparring partner are these creatures. Anywho, then Anko actually gets out, a kunai of her own and says, are you ready to spar, kiddo? And as she says that, Naruto actually tries to blitz her, but Anko saw this coming from a mile away, and kicks Naruto in the chest, and Naruto goes flying. Of course, then Minato says, Naruto, do not fight her. She's not an easy opponent. She's Anko. She's just as strong as she's not as strong, but she's one of the strongest Jonins in the village right now. And of course, it's true. Even though I'm pretty sure she's a special Jonin, not a Jonin, but still. Anywho, now Naruto, who actually listens to his father quite a bit, actually decided to listen to his advice and actually go off on his own. Anywho, of course, Naruto actually begins his fight and actually kind of does well against Anko, but he stands no chance. Naruto, even being pretty strong, having good physicality, and having good techniques like the body flicker and the shadow clone jutsu, he really stands no chance against someone like Anko. Remember, Anko has been a ninja for way longer than Naruto has ever lived, so really he stands absolutely no chance against someone like Anko. Anyway, now of course Naruto actually realizes that he is going to lose this fight, and he's fighting a lost battle, and so he actually says, alright, I give up, I don't want to die. And of course Anko was laying out a ton of bloodlust on Naruto, and Naruto actually realized that, and so he actually gives up before Anko actually goes all out and actually ends up killing him. Anywho, of course, now Naruto, who has given up, actually realizes how strong Shinobi can be, and so Naruto then asks his father to train him in mastering the Rasengan, and basically then Minato says that he knows the basics and now he can actually do some practicals since his chakra is it is immense and he has enough chakra to create the Rasengan. And so he tells him to get a few balloons and water balloons, and basically Naruto, within 2 months of intense training, he's actually able to master the Rasengan. And Naruto then asks to learn the Flying Raijin, but of course Minato says that with the with the amount of skill Naruto has, he's going to take at least a year to learn that. And Naruto, of course, actually decides not to do that, and he actually decides to steal a few scrolls from the Hokage. Of course, Minato was just like, oh no. And Kushina was shouting at Naruto, but remember, they can't really do anything to Naruto right now because they're just, spirits. And basically, Naruto learns a few fireballs, fire techniques. Wait, 1 second. Wait, what? Anywho, sorry, I thought I heard my mom coming downstairs and I would have got fucking annihilated because it's 12 a.m. Anywho, now, of course, Naruto, who has been training for a few months now, he actually stole a lot of scrolls from both the Hokage and a few ninjas, and he's learned a ton of jutsu, but he only has, I say he only has, but he only has 3 chakra natures which he knows how to use perfectly: water, wind, and fire. Now, of course, these all of these are pretty good. For example, once he combines water and the wind, he can actually create something called typhoon. Well, of course, it's actually him combining the water tornado and the wind style tornado and the wind hurricane together to create a typhoon, which is actually a pretty strong technique which can actually shake the whole entire battleground and actually change the features of the battlefield to Naruto's likings. And Naruto is actually missing one essential uh nature release which he needs to actually make the most use of his water release, which is lightning release. Of course, Naruto actually wants to learn lightning release, and so it's been like a year and a half, and Naruto has 6 months until the graduation. Of course, no one really knows about Naruto's true strength except for people like the Hokage, who actually found out about Naruto stealing, and also Minato, Kushina. And Minato, of course, has been teaching Naruto how to use the Flying Raijin, and Naruto is really close to mastering the technique. But Kushina actually played a good role, a major role too. Kushina actually helped Naruto in trying to unlock the the Uzumaki chains, which hasn't been going too well, since Naruto really isn't a full Uzumaki to actually be able to use them perfectly. But not Naruto is actually able to use a beta version, a bit weaker than the actual Uzumaki chains, but something that he can do that other Uzumakis haven't been seen to be using, is that he uses shadow clones to actually bind people with his Uzumaki chains, beta versions, of course. But anyway, of course, now Naruto only needs around 2 more months of training with the Flying Raijin to master it, but he actually puts that on hold to actually go and ask someone who is really skilled at lightning release to train him. And that person is Kakashi, one of Minato's students. Of course, Minato has told Naruto about Kakashi, and Naruto spent a long time. Naruto took at least near enough 3 years and a half to learn the Uzumaki chains, which are much harder to learn for Naruto than any other technique that Naruto has has been given by his 2 parents. Anywho, now, of course, Naruto goes to Kakashi to actually train in lightning release. And so Kakashi, at first, he's like, I don't really see why I should train you, Naruto Uzumaki. I don't see any potential in you. After all, your grades and everything are bad in the academy. Why should I train you? Give me a good reason. And Naruto says, well, a good reason is because I want to become stronger, isn't it? And basically Kakashi says, I like your ambition, kid, but that is not enough. I need proof that you can actually, give fruits. I can't just plant a seed and not get any fruits out of it. You know what I mean? And basically, what he means is that Naruto, he can't just train Naruto to just be weak. Anywho, now, of course, Naruto then says, how about we just fight and find out? And of course, then, Kakashi's like, actually puts away his book because he can see that Naruto's letting out a bit of, you know, his bloodlust. And basically, Kakashi realizes that Naruto is, he might not be joking, and, so he actually puts down his book and then actually sees Naruto trying to blitz in front of him, and, Naruto then, Kakashi then says, your speed isn't too bad, but you shouldn't attack anyone who you don't have any info on. That should be basic knowledge in Naruto. And as he says that, Naruto then just says, well, I don't think you've noticed what I am. And of course, Kakashi then actually realizes what Naruto is, and so, Naruto then actually turns into a log of wood, and basically then, Naruto, what? Well, Naruto actually then just, teleports again. Well, not really teleports, but body flickers again away from Kakashi, and then actually just, uses the Rasengan, which Kakashi was not expecting a kid like Naruto to know, especially because the Rasengan is one of the strongest techniques Minato ever had, but of course not the strongest, but one of the strongest, but still. Now, Naruto smashes it into Kakashi, but Kakashi turns into a log of wood, and Naruto was kind of smart there because Naruto thought that he had the upper hand and he was going to win the fight. But anywho, in the end, Naruto got outsmarted, and Kakashi then says, "Oh well, I guess you're not that bad." And so, as he says that, Naruto then Kakashi then actually says, "All right, we shall begin our training from today, if that's fine by you, and no slacking off. I'm not going to let you go that easily, understood?" And basically, Naruto just says, "Yes, I understand." And, the training begins for real now. And anywho, now, Naruto, who, has been training with Kakashi for the past 2 months, of course, he didn't find it easy. Kakashi wasn't going to let him, train as Naruto wanted, like taking breaks in between. Kakashi was going to train Naruto to the max, so hard that Naruto couldn't even stand up afterwards. Naruto had to train just like how he used to train back in the days when he was actually straining his body to a point where he couldn't even walk after that. Anywho, now, Naruto, of course, seeing how hard Kakashi trained him, he actually realized that maybe Kakashi is not the best teacher, but of course he can see results. Naruto saw results and realized that he can use a lot of lightning release techniques. For example, the lightning clone, which came in handy for Naruto. Anywho, after 2 months of training, Naruto realized that he's learned enough, he knows the basics, and now he can actually learn jutsus on his own, and he doesn't need Kakashi's help anymore. Kakashi was more than glad to allow Naruto to go, and, asked the Hokage why Naruto's, grades are so low when Naruto's actually one of the strongest 11-year-olds he's ever seen. Well, not 11-year-olds, 12-year-olds by now, but still. Of course, Naruto is pretty freaking strong compared to other people. Of course, because Naruto has been trained by the spirit of Minato, but still. Anywho, now Naruto, who has finished his training with Kakashi, actually goes off on his own to actually, continue his training with the Flying Raijin. Of course, that was going to be easy, especially because Naruto has a lot on his hands, especially trying to learn other, lightning release jutsus, like he said to Kakashi that he will, because he wants to learn even more to become even stronger. Anywho, of course, Naruto is still missing Earth release, but Naruto doesn't have any more time, and it is the day of the the day of the exam. Naruto actually passes with flying colors, which puts Mizuki's plan to a halt, because Mizuki can't do his plan if Naruto didn't fail the exam. Anyway, since Naruto actually passed with flying colors, Mizuki actually used someone else who didn't pass the exam, unlike Naruto, to manipulate him into stealing the scroll sealings. Here is where Naruto actually, uh, comes into play. Naruto, who was actually walking around the village after passing and just showing off to people that, proving, telling them that they were wrong. Naruto was more than capable enough to become a ninja, unlike what they said years back, saying that he will always fail. And now look at him, he's a ninja, just like some of the, just like their own children. And Naruto was really happy that he became a ninja. Anywho, after this, Naruto then actually saw the commotion that was going on with the other Jonin of the Leaf Village, and they were Naruto asked what was happening, and he actually saw Iruka Sensei, or Iruka. I called him Sensei myself for some reason. But anyway, he saw Iruka and said, "Iruka Sensei, what's going on?" And basically, Iruka said that one of his classmates stole the scroll sealing, and Naruto actually had a mischievous plan in his head. And basically, Kushina and Minato were like, "No, Naruto, do not do it. Do not do whatever you're planning to do." And basically, Naruto just says, "Well, you see, I need something to train with, right?" And basically, Kushina then says, "Naruto, I wouldn't do this. The village will hate you again for this." And Naruto's like, "Oh, whatever, they always hate me. There's no point of really trying to be friendly with them." Anywho, then Minato says, "No, Naruto, that scroll, if anyone else gets their hands on it, you know what's going to happen, right? There could be chaos in the village. You could even get the village destroyed if people find out the secrets that all the Hokage, including me, put in there. Also, some secrets put in by the first Hokage, one of the strongest shinobi in the whole entire, shinobi world. Well, of course, history. Because remember, Hashirama was known as the god of shinobi of his era. But anyway, now Naruto, of course, after this, actually just says, alright, I won't steal it. And basically after this, Naruto just takes the scroll away from the kid, beats the hell out of Mizuki, and after this, just returns the scroll to the Hokage. And the Hokage is actually surprised on why Naruto didn't take the scroll, but of course he's been enlightened by his parents. Anywho, now, of course, after a while, Naruto actually went off on his own, and the next day they actually were put in the teams. Naruto was still put in the same team as the Sasuke and Sakura. Team 7, of course, they didn't know who their Jonin team leader was. But anywho, after this, Team 7 in the end actually met up with their team leader, and it was Kakashi. Of course, it would be Kakashi. Remember, Kakashi is not going to change from here. But anywho, now Naruto then says, of course it would be him. Out of all people, just had to be the worst one. God damn it, he's going to come so late every day, man. Why him? Out of all people we could have got. Anywho, of course, Naruto was kind of disappointed in the sensei he's got. But anywho, it is what it is. He's already trained with him, and he just hopes that he is a good teacher with the others too, since he was a good teacher with him. But he hopes that he doesn't train all of them as hard as he trained him, because with him he had no mercy. Anywho, now Naruto, of course, being Naruto, just took a bit of the piss, and was like, "Hey yo, so what are you reading there, huh, pervert?" And basically, Sakura's like, "Wait, what? What's that book, Kakashi Sensei?" And basically, Kakashi's like, "Naruto, shut up already. Let's go to the reef." And of course, he asks everyone's dreams, and Naruto says that his dream is to become, someone trusted by the village, someone that the village can, rely on whenever they need help, and someone who can help them overcome, hurdles that they can't. And he wants to become the strongest shinobi ever, which means he wants to become the Hokage. Anywho, then he was Sakura does the same, Sasuke does the same, as per normal. Anywho, Kakashi then explains to them that the belt test will be beginning, well, not the belt test, that they will have another test tomorrow, and Naruto actually doesn't know about this test, and so he actually, listens to Kakashi, even though he eats, because he can't be asked not eating because he's hungry. Anywho, now, of course, Kakashi still came late, and Naruto was grateful that he ate, and of course, Kakashi is the only one that wasn't too hungry, even though Naruto was kind of hungry, wasn't, Naruto. Of course, now, Kakashi's there. Of course, you wouldn't eat. He never listens. God damn it. Anyway, now, of course, the bell test begins by Kakashi actually explaining what the bell test actually is about. And Sakura points out that there are only two bells, and Kakashi then's like, exactly, there are only two of you who will pass. The two who can get the bells will pass. And of course now Naruto's like, oh really? Well, that's pretty far-fetched. And then Naruto asks his parents if there is a catch to this test, and basically Minato and Kushina say, well, we can't really tell you that, Naruto, you'll have to find out on your own. After all, you are pretty sharp. You are my son, after all. And Kushina's like, yeah, mine too, remember? And basically Naruto's like, god damn it. Alright then, let's see. Anyway, of course Naruto actually goes and hides with his own team. Anyway, now Naruto thinks of every single possibility that could every single possibility of this test, and in the end comes to a conclusion that this is a test of teamwork. And so he actually makes two clones which actually go to both Sakura and Sasuke, and they explain his plan. Of course, Sasuke actually accepts because he doesn't see any other way of beating Kakashi on their own. And so Sakura then asks if says that if only Sasuke will do it, she'll do it. And basically Naruto's like, well, I already asked Sasuke, and Sasuke said yes. And so Sakura's like, alright then. And anywho, now the plan was that Sasuke will actually be the diversion, and then Naruto will come in and fight Kakashi for a while until Sakura takes the bells and gives one to Sasuke and keeps one for herself. Anywho, now of course Naruto, Sasuke actually came out of the woods and did his shuriken jutsu, which Kakashi was able to dodge easily. But then Sasuke did a fireball jutsu, which actually confused Kakashi and said, wait, Genny not meant to know fire release? And of course the only reason he said, of course he's not as surprised as he would have been, especially because he's seen Naruto using a lot of lightning release. But anywho, now it was completely baffled, and but still he was able to dodge this. And basically Naruto was next to come up, and he was the one to actually begin a taijutsu fight with Kakashi, and Naruto's movements were way too fast for Kakashi to even notice them. But anyway, so now that Naruto has gotten Kakashi in a little pickle now, Kakashi puts away his book and actually was about to put down his face mask to just use the Sharingan, but then realizes that Naruto is actually getting a bit slower, which was actually Naruto's plan. Naruto was actually trying to make Kakashi come in a bit, so that sounded wrong. Take the bait and try to punch Naruto, but Naruto has a counter maneuver for this. Anyway, Kakashi actually takes the bait, not realizing what this was, but as he tries to punch Naruto, he actually did punch Naruto in the guts. Naruto then turned into water, and that was actually a water clone. And Kakashi was like, wait, what? And basically Naruto then is like, that's where you went wrong, Kakashi sensei. And basically he actually came in for another punch, but Kakashi was actually able to stab Naruto, thinking that it was just another clone. But something he didn't realize is that it was actually a lightning clone, and this was Naruto's plan. And basically Kakashi got electrocuted, and basically the true Naruto came out and actually kicked him in the chest. And basically then both Sakura actually tried to take the bells, but then Kakashi poofed and turned into a log of wood. Of course they were all baffled, and Naruto's like, god damn it. And basically then the the actual alarm went off, and basically Team 7 were meant to fail, but then Kakashi says, you all passed. I see. Sasuke was a diversion at first, and Naruto was meant to be the fighter, while Sakura got the perfect chance to take the bells and give it to someone, wasn't it? Was that your plan, Naruto? And basically Naruto's like, oh well, Kakashi sensei, you always catch on pretty fast, god damn. There's no way of escaping you. And basically, he just looks away, in kind of embarrassment, because he actually thought that he could outsmart Kakashi, and Kakashi just starts laughing, saying, oh well, here's what it is. Well done, guys, you all passed. Anywho, I shall be going now. I have some things to do. Bye. And of course, as he says that, he tells Team 7 that they have to meet up at 8 o'clock tomorrow to actually, do their first ever mission. And anywho, Naruto went off on his own to actually go and eat some ramen. Anywho, of course, on his way he actually noticed Hinata following him, and basically his parents were like, hey yo Naruto, this girl's been following you for the past few years. And Naruto's like, yes, of course she's only been following me for the past few months. God damn, I do remember her, but why is she following me out of nowhere? And basically, Kushina's like, Naruto, you idiot. And of course, Kushina actually knew what was happening. She remembers Naruto actually helping Hinata, and Hinata has been following him ever since. And basically, she is actually in love with Naruto. And she doesn't blame Hinata for, falling for Naruto. Naruto, was like basically her Minato, back in the days. But anyway, now, Naruto, of course, actually then said, alright then, hey, Hinata, you want to get some ramen with me? And basically Hinata started blushing and tried to run, but then basically Hinata, body flickered in front of her and saying that, come on, let's just get some, ramen. And as he said, Ashley said, as Naruto said that, Hinata was about to fall to the ground, in embarrassment, and basically Naruto helped her up, and basically said, come on, let's just go. And of course, he drags her there, and just saying, Naruto's still friends with Shikamaru and Choji, just as per normal. Anywho, now, after this, Naruto, of course, had ramen with, Hinata, and Hinata asked what kind of mission did they do today, and basically Naruto said that they didn't do any mission, they actually did a test, and they're gonna do missions tomorrow. And Hinata's that, okay, I'm sure you'll do well. I believe in you, Naruto. I've seen you train for the past 4 years. You're amazing, Naruto. And as she says that, she starts, blushing, and basically Naruto's like, oh, thank you. You see, this is the first time Naruto has actually heard this from anyone else, other than the Hokage just praising him. But Hinata was actually, praising Naruto, and in another way, it was kind of a concession, but still, she admires Naruto. Anywho, now, Naruto, of course, then says, anywho, I'll be going now. And of course, Naruto actually went off on his own to actually train a bit more. Anywho, of course, the next morning, Naruto actually woke up late, and Team 7 was pretty pissed off. Even Kakashi was like, well, guess who's late now? And basically, just looks at Naruto, and Naruto's like, oh, just shut up. You're the one who's always late, not me. And of course, now, Naruto goes into the, the Hokage's office, just as per normal with Team 7. But anywho, of course, Naruto and Team 7 do their mission, and here, the 1 month actually goes the same. Anyways, of course, Naruto does tell, Team 7 to train, and tells, Sasuke to train, and Sakura, but of course, Sakura doesn't really listen, and Sasuke already used to train on his own, but of course, Naruto told him to, train a bit harder, like, to exhaust his body to get even stronger. But of course, Sasuke says that it's fine, he can do whatever he wants, and Naruto should get out of his way. Anywho, of course, a month later, Team 7 still, gets bored of their mission, while Sasuke and Naruto asks for a new mission, and of course, the Hokage actually gives them the first ever C rank mission, and that's where I'm gonna end off. I know it was only 40 minutes, but it's 12:43. Anywho, I'm going to either record another video or I'm going to go sleep. Anywho, hope you all enjoyed it. Please take care, stay safe. This was the King of Weebs. Don't forget to subscribe to the King of Noobs, Miniman123, my friend Hxmesh, and also Ratreet. And don't forget to follow Shoker on Instagram. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and don't forget to join the Discord server, link in the description below. And peace, my darkness, you're dismissed.